seem to be live as well. So welcome back, guys.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make some double track sections.
Just
over here.
just to everybody on my channel, I just checked. The second section that we did is already available to me as an archived recording. The first one, it hasn't shown up yet, so either YouTube is still processing that or it's screwing things up. If it did screw things up, then yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just redirect you to Aki's channel, or we'll share the same video on both channels and then only have the two perspectives from the second episode on. This episode I'm recording offline as a backup as well, so from this time on it will be fine. So just in case, it could be that you can't see my perspective of the first episode in the archive. I'm not sure. Might be just YouTube still processing it.
I hope so for you. Really.
So, well, it wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, we didn't really do that much yet.
That's true, but still. I mean, it's better to have like both views.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do... Oh yeah, I'm gonna make...
Yeah, but sometimes YouTube takes forever to process stuff, so that might even... Well, hello, Robert Allen. What, the chat is not working on PC, but it is working on your phone. That's weird.
That's probably YouTube's problem.
Yeah, that's not something we can do anything about, yeah. King, what do you guys think about Simutrans? Overly complicated and shitty UI. Let me put it that way. The UI is a complete disaster. I'm not even sure. Have you played it ever?
Me? Yeah, I've played it sometimes.
I think UI is completely overly complicated. Overly crowded. Not intuitive. Way too small.
It's a long time ago since I last played, so I can't really say anything about that.
And the fact that diagonal tracks automatically connect with each other is a complete nightmare.
Oh yeah, that definitely is.
That is incredibly stupid because there's no reason for it. You don't know what UI means. The user interface, the buttons, the icon bars, that kind of thing. All too small and there's too much of them. That could be much simplified. It's not easy enough to find stuff, it's all too small, and which is exactly a problem for me since I have eye problems, so if I can't reach it, then I can't play the game. So I also am not a big fan of the graphics, and yes, I know there's graphics packs, I don't like a single one of them, so... Especially the trees and the landscape looks butt ugly on all of them.
I kind of used to use the Japanese one, to be honest, the only one.
Yeah, in OpenTTD, I know that making money here is a walk in the park, and in Simutrans, you have a little bit more difficulty in terms of making money, but honestly, the thing is with games like this, maybe some people look at that differently, but from the way when I look at the internet and I look at videos, I know not all YouTubers are representative of all the players that play this game, but when I look at it, most people that I see play these games to be creative, to create nice networks, to produce something nice, even to try to recreate something that exists in the real world. I've rarely ever seen anybody that plays this game for the challenge of making the company successful.
That's definitely true, yeah.
Most people that I see playing, not even just this game, any kind of game, be it city builders or other transport games like Transport Fever and stuff like that, most of them either don't care or even install money cheats because they just want to build stuff. So I'm not even sure that is very relevant to the game design. I mean, if it's not there at all, that might be a little bit bad, because then why should you transport anything? You might just as well build something and nothing runs on it, or you don't care what runs on it, so because it doesn't make any difference. So there should be some economy in there, but should it be difficult? I'm not so sure. I don't think people care. And I think people are more frustrated if they want to build something nice and then the game tells them, well, yeah, this looks nice, but this is not efficient. And then they have to do something else because it doesn't make any money.
Just look at a game like City Skylines. If you look at all the YouTubers, most of them don't really use any kind of economic system because they just want to build a beautiful looking city.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Exactly. And
I think that's the same with Symmetrons, because you can actually do quite some nice things with Symmetrons if you want to make like networks and stuff like that. But I don't really see many people playing it because of the thrill of the economy system, to be honest, in the game.
Yeah, and I'm not saying nobody is doing that, but even the people that like the economy, I don't think they like it too hard. Because the thing is, the game should be fun. It should be fun to create stuff in this game. Because the game is not an economy simulation, the game is primarily a creation game. And that the economy a little bit guides you in what you create or what you create first, that's fine. But in my opinion, a game like this should never have an economy that prevents you from doing what you would like to do. That usually just frustrates players. That doesn't add to the fun. So I think a lot of games that have a hard economy misunderstand that a little bit. I think players have a lot more fun if, yeah, I don't know, if it's just hard enough, but not really hard. So I'm not sure that the hard economy in Symmetrons is actually an advantage of that game. It might actually be a weakness.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you also need to be, to a certain degree, newbie friendly. If you have a person in the game and they start up the game and they just build something and then they're bankrupt and then they start over and 5 minutes later they're bankrupt again, these days that means your game isn't gonna be played anymore because people don't have the patience for that kind of thing. Either the game has to be very, very obvious in telling them why it doesn't work, and Symmetrons isn't, or it just can't be that hard. So the harder you are as a game, the more hand-holding you need to do in the beginning to teach the player how to be successful in that hard economy. And Symmetrons doesn't do that. These days, there's too many games out there. People will play a game 5, max 10 minutes, and if they don't have a lot of fun in those 10 minutes, they just gonna deinstall it and say fuck it. These days, you don't have the time anymore. I worked in the industry, and the guideline is like, already if players turn your game on and they can't immediately tell how the UI works, they will throw it away, and that's that. You need to be very, very intuitive nowadays, and you can be difficult, but if you're difficult, you need to have a learning curve. And Symmetrons absolutely does not have a learning curve. It throws you completely into the cold water. That is something okay for an open source game that is non-profit, but as a real game, I don't think Symmetrons would have any chance. I didn't click autofill?
Apparently you didn't.
Good stuff. Wouldn't matter much because they automatically fill the times anyway, and I can confirm them later, but
that's how I do it with the trains, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you meant it in a positive light or not, King. I mean, certain people certainly feel it's a positive thing. But I think because it has such a high learning curve and it's so hard, it probably puts it too much in the niche area. And that also makes it not that attractive for YouTubers. Because if you're a YouTuber and you make a game and make videos about a game that nobody plays, or that is not fun for a lot of people, then nobody's gonna watch it. So... unless it's very visually pleasing to watch it, which Simultrons isn't either. So, I mean, I certainly watch people play games that I would never play, but those are usually games that are fun to watch. I'm not sure Simultrons is a lot of fun to watch.
I don't know either, to be honest. I know that OpenTTD is pretty good being watched by other people, so...
Yeah, but OpenTTD has neither graphics. I think the 8-bit graphics of OpenTTD has a certain very charming style. The Simultrons graphics are a little clunky, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And also, I don't really like how the system, how they did like the trams and stuff like that, because that's just horrifying. In the middle of the road, just one piece of tram track.
Honestly, I never tried that out because I couldn't figure out how they work.
I did it once, but I never did it again. I just used buses instead because that looked way better than a tram line in the middle of the road. Trust me.
Yeah, again, I couldn't figure out how half the stuff works, so... I mean, I played a game about half an hour. Couldn't figure out how half the stuff works, couldn't read half the rest, and I mean, I know there's wikis and there's explanations and all that, but these days I also don't have the patience anymore to go to 50 web pages to figure out how the game works. If the game can't explain it to me, then yeah, I'm these days also not in the mood anymore, because that's just an unprofessionally made game, in my opinion. It's just not how you do games today anymore. You could do stuff like that in the 80s and maybe early 90s, but not today. I want to open a game, the game tells me how it works, and then I get going. If I have to spend the first 2 hours of the game browsing web pages to figure out how to build a road,
yeah, true.
And OpenTTD certainly has some stuff that is not self-explanatory, but the basic stuff is pretty easy.
Yeah, I think you can do a lot with the basic stuff already. I mean, and even if you want to go a little bit further than that, there are a ton of like tutorials on YouTube too, so...
Yeah, I mean, you might have to read a little bit, okay, how do I set a bus line and blah blah blah. I think it's actually that complicated. Okay, the game doesn't explain it to you because it doesn't have a tutorial, that is true, but for OpenTTD, if you look into a tutorial how to set up a basic line, that takes you about 5 minutes to read that, and that basically is the same setup. If you know how to set a bus line, you basically already know how to set up a train line and a plane line and in the ship line, because it's all the same. You have depots, you have stations, and that's that. It's not that complicated.
No, not really. And that's a good thing.
And you don't have 50 different track types with 50 different speeds. It's nice to have that, but Simultrans should maybe leave that to an advanced mode and offer a simple mode where you have one type of road, one type of track, because for new players that's overkill. To have a track that has 80 kilometers per hour and another track that has 100 kilometers per hour, I mean... And then the same stuff again, 50 times electrified, and again 50 times for metro, and yeah, I don't know. I feel that is a little bit too much to have that in the base game. You load the game up and you are basically bombarded with buttons.
Yeah.
Just look at Mashinki, the way the game is now. There's just barely 5 buttons at the bottom, and they're very self-explanatory. The basic tutorial on how to use the game lasts about 2 minutes. After that, it's set up this line, transport this here. The basic tutorial explaining the game mechanics that lasts maximum 2 minutes, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, true. And I think that a lot of people that are playing the game actually played OpenTTD. And I think that if you played OpenTTD, you can also play Machine Key.
Yeah, definitely. And even if you didn't, it is very, it explains itself very, very well.
Yeah, I kind of the same with like the new City Builder game that I'm playing on my YouTube channel. Because I played Banished, I kind of had an idea already how this should work, because it's basically a little bit the same setup. It's just in 3D. And
yeah, exactly. That's also what games these days need to do. They need to adhere to certain conventions of that genre.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to open up a first-person shooter and suddenly the WASD doesn't work because the game decided to do it a different way. You just can't do that.
Nah, probably not the best idea to do though.
Unless you have a really good reason, you shouldn't do that, because that is already a reason why people might not play you. They will say, "What the fuck is this control system?" and they will drop out. Even if they can reassign the keys, if the standard setup is crap, you might already lose players. That it's really the way it is today.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You know what? Let's see. We are another big city over here.
How many trains do you have on this line right now?
4 trains, if I'm right.
Okay.
But I will get more trains soon, because I think I'm gonna make a Farnham, which is a pretty big city too.
I'm just checking out which. Are you gonna do a tram line there, or are you gonna do a train line?
I'm gonna do a train line to like Brixhill or Brexhill. What is it? Bexhill. Sorry, not Brixhill.
Yeah. Okay. Then once you've set up your train station and I know where that is, I'm gonna hook that up with a tram line.
You will know that very soon.
Yeah, because right now we need to do. I know, guys. We said that we're gonna do cargo and passengers, but right now we need to get the passenger transport to all the big cities going first. So we're basically doing both right now. He's doing the trains, I'm doing the buses or the trams.
Where is the Japanese stations? Here they are.
Once we have all the major connections in place, we also have a certain amount of rail network. Then we can start to do some cargo train stuff and all that. Before that, it doesn't make much sense. Okay, you're here. Then I'm gonna do...
I want to put a station building in front of the little thing.
Yeah.
Just so you know that you don't place anything up there.
No. I just will link up my tram station to that.
Yeah, that's okay. What do you do here? I think those.
That is a cargo station. I don't need that. I need this. Yeah, because we're orange, they both have the same color, so that's sometimes a little confusing.
No, yeah, that's true. Where are the station buildings? Kind of like this one, but this one too short. You need it too wide. It's 1, 2. Let's put this one in there then. I think I'm just gonna make this like double track instead of 1 track. Because I think that it kind of looks good.
Do you need to build anything to the southwest of that station building?
Southwest. Don't know. Probably not.
There.
Don't think so. Why? Do you want to make a station there for the...
I want to do that.
Okay. Well, I can always remove it later on if I need it anyway, so...
Well, tell me first, because I'm going to add it to the timetable, so...
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, you can do that with your patch, that's right. Totally forgot about it.
Well, you could do that before too, you just couldn't add any time to it.
No, okay.
So, in case anybody doesn't know that, that's watching, you can add a waiting time to a depot in my version. So you can actually tell how long the thing is staying in the depot. Especially for the buffer timetable setup, that's actually very good. Because if things are waiting in a depot, they don't block anything because the depot has unlimited capacity.
That's very much true.
And the vehicles are always buffering on the first order on their orders list. So that's why I put the depot as the first order. So they're waiting in there instead of at the station. Nine viewers. That's actually more than I expected on the weekend. Yeah, since they only announced it about an hour before we started. I originally wanted that to be announced about a day before, but that was a little spontaneous the way we did it.
Sort of, yeah.
So, for that, considering I only announced it so little in advance, this is actually a pretty good viewer count. You guys all have no social life. You should go out with girls and have lots of sex and threesomes and foursomes and gangbangs and what I don't know. Lots more fun than watching us play this game, but...
Probably. Are you sure about that?
I mean, especially if you're watching him and you happen to be Dutch as well. I mean, you guys in the Netherlands, you should have sex all the time. Considering the way Amsterdam looks, I mean, come on. Nothing but sex and drugs all day long.
Are you sure about that?
Let me guess. When was I last time in Amsterdam? When I was 19. That was 1999. That was no. That was actually before that. That was no. I was there when I was 17. That was 1997. Jesus Christ, that was 20 years ago. So, yeah. Haven't been there in a while. Yeah, we made it basically a sailing tour with a sailing boat over the IJsselmeer. So, okay. And we made a stop at Amsterdam. I'm not even sure where we started. Probably some small town, I don't know. Yeah, thankfully the YouTube is sending out emails saying we're live, yeah. So my subscribers get an email, but everybody else that's just following my channel every now and then wouldn't get that.
Probably not. And these days you have to have the bell ringing.
Yeah, that too, yeah. One of my viewers says he grew up in Amsterdam.
That's good. I hope for him. I work in Rotterdam and they don't really like Amsterdam in Rotterdam, so for many reasons.
What kind of a reputation does The Haag have, or Den Haag, or however, whichever, yeah.
Reputation, I don't know, it's the government city.
Yeah, that's the point, because most countries hate the people that come out of their capital.
Yeah, but it's not the capital.
Yeah, for you guys, that's a little weird. Yeah, that's what I mean. Because
we don't rule the country from the capital. We do it from The Hague, so...
yeah, that's the thing. You split that shit up. That's fucked up anyway, but... That's what I mean. Which town has the worst reputation? Because people in Germany hate everything from Berlin. The British guys, I think, are not very fond of people from London. And the Austrians really hate people from Vienna. So,
I don't really know. We don't really hate The Hague. So probably the people from Wassenaar, because they're all rich and like that. They're like all the diplomats and stuff live in Wassenaar. So we probably hate them more than like the people in The Hague.
No, well.
I don't know. The only two cities that hate each other are Rotterdam and Amsterdam, basically.
That's probably based in football or something like that.
Yeah, partly. And the people, my colleagues never want to have to shift to Amsterdam. They just don't want to be found there dead or alive. I don't know why.
Yeah, I've heard of that rivalry, yeah.
It's stupid, but it's there. Oh, I bought 3 locomotives. That's not the thing I wanted to do. I wanted to do wagons. Let's see. Put one of these in there. Make them... Oh, that's one too long. This is a train that's 2.7 tiles long. It will go straight to Farnham.
Robert Allen says, I know where I'm going to my next holiday. Well, Amsterdam is certainly worth taking a look at, I would say.
Or go to Rotterdam.
Yeah, there's a lot of places in... I've actually never been at the Dutch coast, so the coastline would already be something.
Oh, well, I live near the coastline, so...
Well, unless you count the IJsselmeer, which isn't an ocean anymore since you guys locked it up.
Yeah.
That's really something that I recently saw a tactical map of World War II when I was looking at the entire Western attack, where we attacked France and Belgium and the entire Benelux area. And it said, yeah, going up to the IJsselmeer. And I said, wait a second, the IJsselmeer didn't exist back then yet. So, yeah, but not under that name.
I believe it did already from the...
No, I don't think so.
30s, yes.
Did it?
And later on, right now you have the IJsselmeer and Markermeer.
When did you close it up? When did it become a lake?
Well, in the 1920s somewhere.
1920s already.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. It was the other way around. They called it by the original name. The Germans in the attack order called it by its original name, and it wasn't anymore because it was already the IJsselmeer. It was that way around, right? They named it. Yeah, they still called it the Zuiderzee.
Yes.
And yeah, because they attached a certain core to attack around the Zuiderzee. And I said, wait, what? That doesn't sound right. That should be wrong. And it is, but it's in the official orders.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense. They didn't know it yet.
They used a lot of outdated stuff, so... Maybe they didn't have it. Maybe they didn't have a German name for the new thing yet, and they always use the German names for shit. And they attacked the Polish. They also used all the German names for the areas. They never used the local names because Nazi, you know. It's all German. It's all German. Other names don't count.
Doesn't matter. It's becoming Germany anyway, right?
Yeah, once we have it, it's gonna be German anyway, so it doesn't matter what it's called now. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's weird sometimes, but okay.
Yeah, I think these days Germans and Dutch people hate each other still, but I think these days it's not so much for the war. These days it's only for football.
No, we don't hate each other.
When football is on, we absolutely do.
Well, that's something different, but since we don't really have anything in football right now...
I think the biggest stuff is always in the guys that always bring up the war, funnily enough, even for World War I are the British guys. Whenever anything is on, and then you look at the typical candidates, the Sun and those kinds of newspapers, They always have German players with the Pickelhaube and that kind of thing on, and it's ridiculous. But I mean, it's funny. Everybody is going. The Germans are completely embarrassed of World War II, and everybody else is. When we beat Brazil, Germans were all modest, and everybody else around the world goes, "Oh, German Blitzkrieg! Yeah!"
That is totally true.
That was so insane.
Oh, that's totally true. That happens everywhere.
The Germans blitzkrieged the Brazilians or something. At least in one British newspaper they said something like that, and everybody else followed up.
Mm-hmm. 63. Confirm all, and they can do their thing. So the second line is completed to farm him with trains.
Yeah, I can see it. And my tramline should be hooked up to that.
Yeah, I saw it indeed. I think I'm gonna make another Yatesbury here. Just a little branch of line.
A little where?
Yatesbury. You see that? That's next to
that thing.
Bexhill. Yeah.
That thing, yeah. Oh, there's a fruit plantation there. It's actually 2 fruit plantations. Can I do anything with that?
I don't know. That's up to you. You're like.
Oh, there's 3 fruit plantations in this area. I need to be able to do something with that. Come on. Where does that need to go? Oh, I can actually send that to an oil refinery. I think that only works later. I think that's something that works only in later years when you can do biodiesel. I don't think in early years that works. Do we even have an oil refinery here? Because the power stations also accept oil.
Oh yeah,
but they don't yet. They don't yet. They accept that only after a certain time.
That's totally true. Yeah. Probably not gonna make it 2 tracks all the way. Well, why don't we just put it till here?
I have at least a brewery here. I can at least send it there. Anything else?
I don't know. Let's build a little station here. Let's see. Where is the need this one? And then I kind of want this one over here. Why don't I do...
Don't I have any food processing plant down there?
I don't know.
Can you do me a favor?
You a favor? Of course, why not?
Well, can you build a train line towards Petersfield from Bexhill?
Bexhill to Petersfield.
Petersfield is to the southeast.
Oh yeah.
Southwest.
I can probably do that, yeah.
Can you make it double track because I need that for cargo?
Alright, that's no problem. I'll do it when I'm done with this line here.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up something in the meantime to get my fruit to a nice little station. Where should I put that station?
I don't know. Put it somewhere. Okay, let's make a train. I think a single train is enough, to be honest. Just gonna go with the 5500 again, and then buy some wagons, 4 of them, and go from Exhale to Gatesbury. That's it.
What did we say as limitations for...
For what?
Where is that even set? The limitation for the train length. Where do you set that? The company, right? No, where do you set
it's
that?
Somewhere, it's somewhere in the settings. I don't know where, but wasn't it like 10 long or something that we were gonna do?
Yeah, something like that. Just wanted to check whether we actually set that up. I can't find the setting. Limitations, maybe? Oh, 11 tiles long, actually.
11 tiles, okay.
You're using a 5-tile distance, right? No, a 6-tile. What? You're using the wrong signal distance, man.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry.
Doesn't matter. As long as you're using a longer one, it doesn't really matter. If it was a shorter one, that would be a problem.
That's basically because it's standard on 7 with me. That's probably why. So you wanted the train line to go to Petersfield, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. I might actually make a separate station for the train line or something. Do we need that?
Oh, you're using
electrical
Grantham. Signals. You're using electrical signals already.
Oh, did I? Oh, I didn't. Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean, I just noticed that you did it.
I totally forgot about the semi.
It's not a big deal.
I'll use the other ones from now on. I promise.
It's gonna be a huge pain in the ass exchanging those later anyway, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, you can update them. I don't care. I just had to place some signals somewhere, and I noticed the difference. That's all. Okay, 10 long. There we go. I'm actually trying to make these trains already 10 long, and let's see how many problems that causes.
I don't know. Figured it out.
By the way, where did you build the depots? Next to the passenger stations, or?
Which depots?
Like that, yeah. Just in general train depots. Just wondering how I'm gonna do the depots for my cargo stations.
I don't know. I always do it like that. I just like it a bit more. It's more realistic. I like realism too much.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do something like this as well. Just so we have that a little bit consistent. Probably should make mine a little longer since I'm gonna do huge trains. And then I need to get this stuff somewhere here. Actually thinking whether I should use some cargo trams for this.
Yeah, maybe. They're in the game, so why not? So where are you gonna let the car go to on the line from Peaches Field?
There is a food processing plant just to, well, there's a river next to Petersfield. Can you see that? And the food processing plant is right next to it. Towards the coast, yeah. So somehow there. I don't know yet exactly how.
Yeah, right, but oh yeah, I can already see your interchange over there in Yatesbury Woods.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, then I know how to make them over here in Bexhill. Let's see if they still off me. If I can place a station over here or something. I can, that's good. Where the... Oh, that was a lag spike.
No, that was an autosave.
Oh, it was not. Oh, that's why. This is the way down. So I can make a switch here.
Now in winter we won't be able to get any fruit in anyway, but...
No, but still. I have to stay on this side of the road, that's good. Go down a little bit. Now I can stay next to the road over here.
Did we say 11 long or 10 long? 11, right?
11, yeah, 11. You said 11. Pretty sure of it.
I need to make it one longer.
And it's... I have to think about strainy things right away. 11. Almost there. Need to go a little bit to the left. No, the right. All the little wind effects over here on the hills, because it's winter.
What the hell are you doing there? Are you trying to figure out how to get around the town?
Where?
Oh, nothing. Okay, how do I do this?
You know, it has to look pretty.
Absolutely. That looks absolutely disgusting. Not you or me. I'm doing something here. I don't like this. I want something else. What do we have? Ah, we don't have those yet. Ah.
What are you searching for?
A nice looking station for the delivery.
Right. No, wrong signals again. Let's put down these signals over here. And over there, we don't need signals in between. Oh. Turn that off.
Okay, tell me once you have that area signaled, then I'm gonna send my train on the way.
It's pretty much signaled up, by the way.
All the way?
Almost.
Okay. It will need forever to load up anyway, so it's not a big deal. Especially since now in winter there's no fruit actually being produced, so before the summer comes, this is completely pointless anyway. Yep,
Kinda,
bro man, fruit production is actually affected by seasons. Yeah, unfortunately so. I wish that you could turn that off. I mean, it's realistic, but it's a little pain in the ass.
Yeah, kind of is. But then again, we wanted to have the winters in there, so...
Yeah. And even if we didn't have the winter, I mean, January wouldn't produce anything either way, whether there's ice or not. I mean, if there's snow on it, then it definitely won't produce anything, but even then, even without it would be seasonal.
Yeah, indeed. Should I make like a temporary line till this station here? I don't know. Pages Field East.
The thing is, I could even make those trams have an order where they say, okay, only go to the fruit plantation if there's actually cargo waiting. The problem with that is, if I don't do that, I could tell them go only there if there's cargo waiting, otherwise wait in the depot. There's ways to set up those orders. The problem is, if after a certain time no vehicle has arrived at a station, it will consider that station not serviced anymore, and then the industry doesn't deliver its cargo to that station anymore. So you basically have to send vehicles there at least once in a while, otherwise the game will ignore the station.
Yeah, that's true.
So I basically have to have these guys run half the year for no reason. I mean, I could only send one of them there and the other ones wait in the depot, but oh well. Since money is not a problem for us, I don't really care about the additional running cost.
And the trains are making money actually, so that's another good thing. At least a couple of them. Well, it's getting summer again.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna make the current passenger line to Emersham. We can go into 3 directions from here. I wonder if the station will be big enough in the end.
I'm actually looking at this and figure out how to... Need to change something here.
Well, I guess I can just make a train line go from Farnham Arm through the other stations to one of the other lines, so don't really need to change anything, I think. I'm just gonna look at this.
Fuck, which one did I delete? South, okay.
That doesn't work. That's one too long.
Am I going to send fertilizer there? Maybe. At some point. You only need fertilizer if you want to really ramp up the production. The problem with the production is the production of fruit plantations increases if you keep the level of transportation high. And since the level of transportation... Well, basically, since you only have fruit there in a certain amount of months, you basically have to grab it all as quickly as possible, and the rest of the year your vehicles don't do anything. So yeah, it's a little awkward to get the transportation up to a high degree. So I don't know whether I'm actually going to be able to ramp up the production of fruit plantations. So I'm not sure whether fertilizer will make a whole lot of difference, but I will try maybe.
Oh, what am I doing? I don't know.
A ton of stuff waiting at Bexhill.
Nope. I was kicked out of the game.
What?
Yes.
Desync error? What did you do?
I did nothing. as far as I know.
That's weird. Let me stop and let you join up. A desync usually only happens when we do something, so there's a bug still in the game, but we both didn't do it.
The only thing I did was change a little bit of track work, but that shouldn't be a problem, right? I mean...
No. What if it happens again? Have you joined?
Yeah, I'm in again.
If it happens again, we need to figure out what is happening while the desync happens. It's weird because any kind of feature that it was multiplayer untested we're not using yet, so
Yeah, I don't know. There must be something.
But if it's only happened very rarely, then it's not a big deal because you can just join up again, but...
Yeah, true, and doesn't seem to happen again. At least not straight away. Let's hope it won't do it again, though. We'll see about that.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know what could be out of sync.
I don't know. Maybe it was just an hiccup in like the... I don't know.
No. That's not usually not. There's nothing in the network. That's usually really something that the games compute differently. But I don't know. Hello, Scotty Doo. How are you? King, about that, just responding to someone here, about that tree thing. Yeah, I'll look into that. I don't know when I will have the time to do it, but I will look into it. About a feature that deactivates the thing that at the lower levels you have less trees. He would prefer to have the same amount of trees everywhere. Yeah, I saw that you joined the Patreons. Thank you for that, Scotty. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be happening anymore, so I don't know what it was.
No, I don't know. But as long as it's fixed right now, then...
Yeah, if it happens once every 2 hours, I don't care. I mean, I still care, but
that we're playing, so
yeah, I mean, if it's something that happens so rarely, it's also a little bit difficult to figure out what it was. So
that is definitely true. Let me make a new passenger train.
Let me quickly save the game just to make sure.
Yeah, sure, you do that.
There we go.
But I used the wrong button again. I'm so used for like one button for like buoy wagons or locomotives that I use the buoy locomotive button every time I want to bring a wagon.
Yeah. I do the same thing, yeah.
It's annoying, but
why do you hear odd beeping noises? I don't know, Scotty. I don't hear any beeping.
Me neither, to be honest. Okay, let's duplicate those trains. Well, I have to say, we already have a quite nice long passenger network right now.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh yeah, it went into the wrong thingy over there. It can't go down from that place. Let's just change that for now. So it can actually go down there. And I guess it was another autosave.
Yeah, that was an autosave.
Yeah. It's like a lag spike in my game, so I can't really see that you're like saving it. So
Yeah, no, I'm not saving it. If you look at the date and it's the first, then it's an autosave.
yeah, I know. You're not saving it by yourself, but
Yeah, I'm getting the lag as well, but yeah. I mean, it doesn't really. I'm not even sure whether it tells me it's saving, but I can see first of the month, so that usually tells me what it is.
yeah, it does for you because you have the autosave, and so for me it's just a random lag spike.
Wow,
Oh, you already have one train waiting over here. I see.
Yeah, I got it waiting, but I think only in summer there will actually be anything incoming. I mean, they starting to grow the fruit. You can see the trees turning green, but before they turn yellow and actually have the fruit, there won't be any production, so that will take a while. Have you seen that Bexel actually has 2 textile mills?
Yeah, I've seen them, yeah.
That's so stupid. Do I actually have anything that I could do with that? Not sure.
I don't know, it's close to the city, but it's like everything.
I would need wool or fiber crops for that. I don't think I have anything like that.
Well,
well, I do have it over here. But only one. Not sure I can do anything with that yet.
probably wait for a little bit then. Maybe one of them relocates to another place.
Yeah, no, I could just deliver to one of them and just figuring out whether I actually have the cargo to deliver to them.
Yeah,
okay, and I kinda have, but
they don't disappear, right? Because we kind of
no, they don't go away.
No, okay, then we have all the time to get the stuff ready.
Hey, QIW Gaming. Yeah, we'll how long have been streaming actually again? An hour again.
It's been over an hour again, so we have already been streaming for like almost 3 hours now.
Yeah, I don't know. Should we make another one? Another half an hour, maybe?
Should we do it? I don't know if your audience is up to it, because I've only one viewer left.
Well, I have 12 viewers, and one just joined and told me I'm his favorite YouTuber, so OpenTTD player at least.
Yes, OpenTTD player, yeah. Yeah, I opened your chat too, so I can see that too.
So yeah, I'll give him another half hour.
All right, so shall we
But
take a little break then?
yeah, we'll make a little break, and then we'll come back for about half an hour. So don't run away. We'll be right back, and then we'll do another half hour, and then that's probably gonna be it for today. So be right back, guys.
Yeah.
Don't run away.
Just give us like 5 minutes. All right. All right. See you later.